Hey everybody, hope y'all are doing well and welcome to my channel. This is where you can get all your Eagles insights, updates, and news throughout both the offseason and the NFL season. I know I'm cutting it close, but with the draft less than 1 day away, I really wanted to predict all the picks for the Eagles in this 2024 draft. And I wanted to give my thoughts on what they need in this draft, as well as why we might see certain picks and certain players get picked. And as always, if you enjoy this content, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. It really does help me grow as a channel, especially as a small creator. But without further ado, let's get right into the content. So this year, as you guys can see, the Eagles have 8 picks across 5 total rounds. And with the great free agency period we had out of the way, now we find our team with more specific positions to address in this draft. Especially looking at the early rounds, this is our chance to build the future of our team, getting more help on that weak defensive side of the ball. So let's start with our own round 1 pick, which is the 22nd pick in this draft. It's no secret that the Eagles really need to bolster that defensive side of our team, especially at positions like cornerback and linebacker. And all the options are open to us since Howie's known to like to move around in the draft, actually moving up 5 times in the last 6 years for some of the players in the first round that he wanted. But really, I only see 2 realistic options for where the Eagles should go position-wise for this first pick that they have. And those options are a cornerback or a lineman. It's always crucial to build up in the trenches like the Eagles like to do, and it has been working because that is a foundation for a good team. But on the other hand, our lines will be good, even with the loss of Kelsey and Fletcher Cox. And I view us really needing to focus more on the pressing issue on defense, especially cornerback. In a pass-heavy NFL, we really need that elite cornerback to compete, and we really saw what a mediocre cornerback play led to last year. We can always address the O-line in future drafts, maybe future free agency, or even later rounds of this 2024 draft. I view it as the Eagles will be good this season. They have a weaker schedule and objectively better coaches. So we can't pick players in the draft that will make an impact in a couple of years. I believe that they will want to make an immediate impact on that defense with the draft to shoot for a Super Bowl contending team this year and avoid another collapse late in the year. For those reasons, I strongly think the Eagles will go cornerback in this first round. And I also think they might move up a couple spots to get their top dog in the loaded cornerback class. Maybe someone like Terrion Arnold, Cooper DeJean, or Quinyon Mitchell. So my prediction, if they do trade up, would be for Terrion Arnold from Bama. He had to compete against top college teams, and he performed very, very well. And I think that will translate to the NFL with a bit of practice and a bit of conditioning. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles went offensive tackle or defensive end because building in the trenches is always very, very important, especially early in a draft. Let's move on, though, to our second round picks at 50 and 53. Starting off with our acquired pick from New Orleans at 50, and as well as our pick at 53, I see 4 major options where the Eagles could go with it. I see wide receiver, an O or D lineman, or a linebacker here. Again, it's all about the needs to improve the team this year for a potential Super Bowl run. And what do we see last year? Along with bad cornerback play, something arguably even worse was our linebacking core. So even though taking a linebacker high in the draft isn't necessarily the norm, the Eagles do have 2 second-round picks to work with. So I can see them choosing linebacker here in the second round. If someone like Edgerrin Cooper or Payne Wilson falls to the 50th or 53rd pick, I can easily see them picking either player. If not, they'll probably wait until the 4th round and pick a different linebacker. Another possibility I see happening is a wide receiver to cover that hole that they have for the 3rd wide receiver currently. So my prediction for these picks, I think the Eagles will go linebacker and wide receiver and lock in that 3rd spot by securing Ricky Pearsall from Florida at 50, and then they will choose Cooper from Texas A&M at 53. And I'm really excited to see what Howie will end up doing with these picks. The Eagles are really known to hit on second-round picks throughout their history. They picked up players like Hurts, Jackson, and McCoy throughout the years. Since the Eagles have no 3rd-round pick, though, I will just be moving to their 4th-round pick now from the Steelers. So once the Eagles get this far into the draft, I think it's a really good point to start to bolster some of the already established positions on the team. And they definitely have to start thinking a couple years into the future at this point in the draft. Now that we've covered all the Eagles' real needs for this year in free agency and my mock draft so far, I think they will start to target both the O and D line, as well as safety, and the running back or tight end in the draft now. Personally, I think they will go O-line here in the 4th round to continue to develop that position and build up in the trenches like they like to do. And I think they will secure Zach Zinter from Michigan at pick 120, who will be able to develop around already great O-line and learn from the best in the business. I think he is very underrated, and this would be a steal to get him round 4. Just like Nolan Smith, I think he will fall because teams are hesitant to pick him up due to his past injuries, but I think we should take the risk. But the Eagles still have 4 picks from here, 3 in the 5th round and 1 in the 6th. I'll be naming my predictions for these with no lengthy explanations, as they are the best fits for what the Eagles need, in my opinion. If I'm being honest, guys, at this point, it's going to get really hard to accurately pick the right players. So I'll be primarily focusing on position, and I think the Eagles still need to bolster some weak points in the depth charts, including safety and a running back at this point. So in the 5th round, with the 161st pick, I'm going to predict that the Eagles will take a tight end to match with Goddard. And I think it's going to be Cade Stover from Ohio State with this pick. Also in the 5th round, with back-to-back picks, 171st and the 172nd picks respectively, I think they will pick a safety and a running back. And I'm going to guess it will be safety Tyke Smith from Georgia, keeping the trend of drafting Georgia players. And it will also be running back Marshawn Lloyd from USC. And finally, we are left with Eagles' last selection in the draft, which is a 6th round pick with the 210th pick. And I think they're going to go edge rusher here to help with that D-line, especially with the exit of Hassan Reddick. And I think it will be Cedric Johnson from Mississippi. But obviously, at this point, it's kind of guesswork. It's very hard to predict accurately who they are going to pick. But that's going to be it, guys. That's it for me in this final mock draft, one day before the draft. So watch out for other uploads in the near future about updates for the 2024 draft. Don't forget, guys, check out the rest of my channel. I got a bunch of cool videos on there. And have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video.